For the record, my name is Curtis Steinhauer, representing the Washington State Association of Counties and Washington State Association of County Regional Planning Directors. Testifying today in support of House Bill 1695, we have consistently heard from our members that greater flexibilities for LAMRIDs are needed to enable and incentivize affordable housing development. LAMRIDs often provide the only source of affordable housing in smaller rural communities, and this bill allows counties more flexibility in planning for both that housing and the services that can help enable more housing development in these areas. We appreciate the sponsor bringing this forward, and we urge your support.
Chair, members of the committee, Bryce Yadon here, FutureWise, testifying in opposition today of House Bill 1695. I think there's a couple of things I wanted to bring forward. First, over the last few years, FutureWise has worked really hard with Senator Short to try and allow some flexibility in these LAMRIDs. And, you know, we have expanded the footprint for certain types of businesses, retail, food services, and stuff like that to really kind of allow some local type businesses to come in. But what the bill does before you kind of creates a weird standard that we're not sure you can meet anyway. If you're going to extend urban services and not allow urban development, it doesn't really make sense. But what I want to focus on is a couple of pieces. There's no limitations to development would be allowed in this. So someone could build a Costco in the middle of nowhere or a Walmart, because there's no limitations on size of that. And as soon as you start sending out urban services, as an alternative, there's that local jurisdictions can assist some rural communities in allowing additional housing, and these are allowing incorporated areas or allowing urban areas or urban growth areas to be formed around these towns and these cities. It's up to the jurisdiction to allocate population targets and population to allow that to happen, but we don't think that allowing a bill that is going to turn some of these small little areas into, you know, allowable into urban development. They, again, no restrictions on heights or density or anything. We can have apartment buildings and everything under the bill. So we are opposed. It just kind of cuts down what the intent of LAMRIDs were meant to be. Happy to take questions.
Okay, Ranking Member Clicker has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to both of you. Bryce, have you been around much of rural Washington? Because I don't see a whole lot of Costco's and Walmarts that would go into something like Walmarts that would go into something like. Yeah, well,
they're fundamentally not allowed. So,
Bryce, my question on that is that being in rural areas all these years is so unlike what you're going to find over on this side of the state in the urban interface. We're talking an area that is very rural. Do you think that you would see Costco's and Walmarts going up in areas like that?
The way the bill is drafted, it allows high-density urban development without limitations unless the county puts them on. And if you start adding that, there is a pressure and a likelihood that those would go there. I'd also like to, you know, point out that generally speaking, step back a half a second. I will provide you with one instance in which there was a very rough spot where we've been working with our union partners where a Walmart did get put just outside of the urban growth boundary. So I will get that to you in the rural area. I'll make sure to send it.
Representative Griffey.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Large businesses actually do foot traffic calculations. I think it's a stretch, don't you, that it could be a Walmart or Costco. I understand that there's no sideboards, but I can't, I mean, the rest of what you said, maybe I agree with, but I can't imagine that would happen. You guys really believe?
I will send you the instance in which it did occur in Eastern Washington. So I'll make sure to get it to you by the end of the day. I'll talk to my lawyers. Send you the instance in which it did occur in Eastern Washington. So I'll make sure to get it to you by the end of the day. I'll talk to my lawyers.